Bro, what the fuck?
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love a lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the sun is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle it without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, but shorty always get the fussy. Yeah, hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the right to end. Yeah, right. To the nice end, yeah. To the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Silver Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I will never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe suing, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe suing, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good, and it's the best side. I remember.
Welcome back to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 3, Episode 77. If you missed it on the last podcast / Twitch stream over on the Twitch channel at Ride the Tide Sports Podcast last weekend, that was where we officially gave our picks for this weekend. So if you didn't see that, that's because it was on Twitch. So
Yeah, no, like, be frank real quick. If you didn't see that, that's on you.
that is on you.
On Twitch. Dylan tells you at the end of every podcast. So, hey.
That's what I was going to say. And
sometimes
if you did,
desperate times call for desperate measures. One of those times.
I'll give you a hint. If you were like, hey, I don't know what the Twitch is, Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. God damn it, we're very simple.
Ride the Tide 586, Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. It's one of those.
Like Tyler said, I've told you this over maybe 100 times now. But anyways, the boys did give picks, which means the boys do have records, and they have a recap for you on how that went. So why don't we just cut the chit-chat and get right into it? But obviously, with a little chit-chat.
Start off with college because,
let's get into college.
NFL Week 2 was depressing. So what was the next thing that had to happen? A successful college Saturday. I think it was across the board successful college Saturday. So
the boys went 21-6 combined. 21-5 combined, us three. Because we had
that's good.
7-1, 7-2, 7-2. And obviously we had 2 asterisks at the end of everyone else's.
This week. It's odd enough to get 1 push.
We both had 2. We all had 2.
And there was there 1 or 2 in the NFL?
There was one in the NFL.
That's a kind of a
3
lot.
in a weekend. It's very.
Some odds makers made a shit ton of money this week.
Yeah,
because their boss was like, "Okay, you're good at
well,
this."
why don't we start with the first push of the day?
All right.
And that was Michigan, number 2 in the country, playing Rutgers at noon. And Rutgers, on their first drive of the game, made you think, "Oh, this might be a game." And then they never made it a game after that. And Michigan went on to score 31 points unanswered against Rutgers. And the only thing I will say is J.J. McCarthy, now he only threw for 200 yards, but when they let him throw, he was 15 for 20, and he was decent. So, Luke?
It was a good dub by Michigan. Everyone was freaking out because they Rutgers scored on the first fucking play, like boo-hoo. First drive into that, who gives a shit? All that matters is the end score, and then after that, Michigan made them their bitch.
Yeah, I will say the biggest factor for Michigan, like takeaway wise, is this is the first game all year they were able to get that run game going. JJ had 50 rushing yards, Mullings had 40 rushing yards, Donovan had 20, and Corum had 90. So, if anything, this rushing game was really able to get going against Rutgers, which it hasn't been able to get going so far this year.
Well, it's literally been getting better and better every game. So.
Oh, this has been the best for sure.
Yeah, because it was the most recent game. It's going to get better next game. And keep getting better and stacking.
Tyler, do you have any thoughts?
No, they haven't played anybody yet. By the way, we're in week 4.
Well, if we go to week 5, they play Nebraska next week, so it's going to stay like that.
Yep.
And then week 6, they play Minnesota.
Nope.
Week 7, they play Indiana.
Nope.
Week 8, they play Michigan State.
Nope.
It's
not even your fault on Michigan State either.
Week 9, they have a bye. Week 10, they play Purdue.
Oh, my God.
Week 11 is their first game of the year against Penn State.
Okay, all right. So I don't care about you until week 11. Then I find out whether or not you guys are a good football team.
Well, tell the Big Ten to actually get better at football.
No, Luke, we're not blaming you. We know this isn't your fault, but yeah, I agree.
It's just like I can't judge. I can't personally judge Michigan the same way that I judge Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, the same way that I judge every other top 10 school that's outside of the Big Ten.
Georgia's in a similar boat.
If you're a top 10 school in the Big Ten, the only way for me to actually judge you is for you to be a team like Ohio State, where you play a top 10 team like Notre Dame and have a game where I can base things off of when you're not supposed to win by 20, 30 points. You know, then I can actually base it off something. So I'm glad you guys are getting better every week. I'm hoping by week 10, everything's figured out and you win that game, and then I can say good things.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's hard to fill up that schedule with actual contending teams because, like, you know, there's only like 2-3 teams in the Big Ten
that
can actually make it like that.
Yeah. You got Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. That's it.
It's actually quite simple. They did it for next year. Add better teams into the Big Ten. They're fixing the problem.
I think that's probably a big reason why a lot of that's happening. But let's move on to the next game.
Fixed for you, Luke.
Let's move on to the next game here. We have Florida State, who took on Clemson. And honestly, I'm not worried about this. Like a lot of people that were big Florida State fans and were sitting here like, oh, you know, they're down most of the game. I mean, Clemson was sitting at a spot where they needed to win. They knew that if they lost this game, not only were their chances of winning the ACC down the drain, but their chances of pretty much anyone giving a shit about their chances of being an over 500 team were also down the drain. So they were playing this game like they needed to win. They put all their eggs into this basket, and that's why this game went into overtime.
You know, you keep saying they. I think the head coach needed this game because his ass is on the line right now.
Yeah, that's also true.
He is fumbling the bag so hard to where it seems like he had one freaking like unbelievable quarterback prospect, and that was the only reason he had any success. Because ever since then, they've been shooting down the spiral of the toilet bowl, and it's just not been pretty over there. So I think his ass is on the line, and that's why they threw all their eggs into one basket here. Still didn't come out on top, and it was in Clemson's place, right? So
yeah,
majority says like, you know, if things are gonna go your way and you're at home, you got a better chance of winning the game. But better football team still ended up on top. So
well, the Clemson, I'm pretty sure, was the team that pulled some dude off the side of the street just because he still had eligibility to play for their kicker.
Correct. He made the first kick, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, look at this story! The man has never kicked a ball in 4 years, and he made the field goal." And then when he had
that was his actual first attempt in college.
Yeah, and everyone was like so happy for him. They showed his parents this and that, but I didn't see them showing his parents when he missed the game-winning field goal on his second attempt. Could have won them the game, but I understand. I'm not going to put everything on him because, you know, second attempt ever. I mean, you know, Florida State, they won the game outright with Keon Coleman had 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Johnny Wilson, 90 yards. I mean, they got 2 robots. They're going to use them. Travis had almost 300 yards, 21 for 37. I like this Florida State team, and I think that this was the toughest competition they have for the next couple of weeks. Now they can go on more of a chill schedule, but we'll see what happens. All right, next game. And this one, thank God, Tyler, I got you to play it, and at the last minute, I didn't cover, but it was what it was. Oklahoma and Cincinnati. Now, this one was one where I was very confident Oklahoma would at least win by 14 points. They did. The problem was they needed that half a point, and they didn't get it. That kind of fucked our bet. But in terms of the game,
play in the NFL, sadly.
Yeah, it was a half point that fucked us. But the problem is when you score 3 points in the second quarter and 3 points in the fourth quarter against a team that just let Miami, Ohio put up 30 points against them, that raises question marks around that offense if I'm Oklahoma.
It definitely raises question marks, but hey, maybe they were trying some new stuff. You never know.
I guess so. I mean, it's so weird. Dylan Gabriel threw for 330 yards. But
they usually don't try. Messed it up.
Yeah. Weird game. Just a
but
weird
yeah, this was the second push of the 2 pushes.
Correct. So that was our second push. All right. Let's get into a game that we all were just on the wrong side of. Ole Miss and Alabama. Number 13, Alabama with Milroe, and then number 15, Ole Miss. Fuck. I'm not even gonna.
Almost all of us were on the wrong side. Believe in Bama.
Well, I know me and Luke were on the wrong side because I know that.
On the wrong side.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side too?
Oh, yeah.
Island, which is honestly like a kind of safe space for me.
Okay. Here's where I'm at. And I think what lost me the game is I should have done more research on Quinshall Judkins. I know he was limited play the week before because he was hurt, but I did not know that he was going to be limited again today or in that game with snaps. And then when he did play, he looked like he was still injured. And fuck, I wish I knew that. Just wish I knew that.
I just thought Alabama was looking real fraudulent and that they were going to win by like a field goal or maybe a touchdown because I had the 7.5. But
if
Ole
Ole Miss
offense.
They stuck to what they know. They ran the ground and pound.
If Ole Miss got another touchdown, that would have been a third push.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, it would have. But, I mean, Alabama, they finally just said, you know what? We don't need a quarterback. Let's stick to the ground and pound. They're one of the best offensive lines. And that won in the game.
It worked. Yeah.
Over 150 combined rushing yards, yeah.
They're still frauds.
Next game, Utah, UCLA. Man, this was a defensive battle if I have ever seen one. 14-7 was the final score from Utah. And now Utah has won 4 in a row. And they have beaten 2 ranked teams, all without their starting quarterback, who is supposed to return next week. That is Cam Rising. Very impressive on this Utah defense, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the offense is missing their quarterback. So I think it's most important that he comes back this next week and Utah starts lighting it up again and they look like a complete football team. If it takes him a week to get back at it, so be it. I think you put him in next week regardless when he's back because the rest of this team is clicking in all cylinders. So
Nate Johnson, their quarterback, went 9 for 18 with 115 yards, no touchdowns, and he won that, and he was the winning quarterback in that game.
Yeah, they need the quarterback back.
Uh-huh. That was their winning quarterback.
Yeah, no, we're gonna need QB1 back because
next week they play Oregon State at 9:00. So yeah, we're gonna need Rising back for that third straight ranked team in Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State got some pretty strict defense too. So yeah,
mm-hmm.
They're gonna need more than 50% guy on 18.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time to get into the murder of the Buffaloes. Oregon, number 10, beating number 19 Colorado 42-6. It was 35-0 at halftime, and this bitch was over before Colorado even knew it. I'm gonna be honest, the second they got that fake punt when they were up 14-0, that was pretty much to me where I was like, okay, I'm on the wrong side. Shouldn't have taken Colorado plus 21.
You're gonna start I have the shortest bid, I feel like.
Go crazy.
If you thought that it was personal for Deion Sanders, I think by the end of that game, we could clearly see it was way more personal for the Oregon coach.
Oh, yeah.
The way he felt, that shit was going down.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see the clip of his pregame speech until after the game, and I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah. He was
Thank God. Thank God he spoke what he spoke to those boys because 40. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. With everything that was going on with Colorado and Deion, I'm just glad that Oregon shut him up because
halftime.
This is kind of what was supposed to happen.
No, this is what was supposed to happen, not what it kind of was. It was supposed to happen.
I just wish we could have seen Travis in this game. I think he would have fought.
Yeah, they would have got.
I don't think he would have changed the game.
They would have got 14 or 12 points instead of 6.
I just wish he would have been it.
Would have been a little bit closer to trying to cover a spread that I knew they weren't going to cover.
This game was over.
Could have got
The duck came out, smashed that clock, and it was over. It was over. He smashed that clock so fucking hard, his head came off, and he ran back to the tunnel, and I guarantee you he regretted none of it. He might not be the mascot anymore because his head fell off and all that, and if he goes out like that, I guarantee he'll be happy about it.
I guarantee you he was regretting it because that means people could see his face, and there are some crazy fans out there.
Yeah, Oregon people probably love him now. He's probably getting free shots, free beers.
But you can't take it off.
Anyways, next game. And I'm taking a couple weeks off from betting these motherfuckers because I can't figure them out. Number 12, LSU against Arkansas in the Rusty Foot Bowl. They're playing for a rusty boot. LSU and Arkansas. The final was 34-31 LSU. This was a great game. It was very back and forth all game with KJ Jefferson leading the way on the Arkansas side and then Jaden Daniels obviously on the LSU side. I thought Arkansas was actually going to win this game. Once the third quarter hit and I realized that this LSU minus 17.5 was completely down the toilet, I started rooting for Arkansas. And I was like, you know what? I hope KJ does it. Hope he beats them. And then I can just say, fuck LSU. And then at the end of the game, there was 2.5 minutes left. Arkansas's clock management was god-awful, and LSU was able to walk down the field and get a field goal.
Yeah, I'm with you. When you say, I don't know what they are anymore.
I don't know what
right now. I don't know if they're really good. I don't know if they're really bad. I don't know if they're back and forth every week. I have not seen them play enough to figure it out, and they haven't been consistent enough for me to figure it out. So
I'm telling you what, Tyler, next week when they play Ole Miss, I want no fucking part of that football game. You'll get a total from me. You'll get an over and under because I know Luke will make me, but you are not getting a win.
If Ole Miss gets more than a touchdown, I might have to take Ole Miss.
The over is currently 67.5. You're getting an underplay from me, and that's it.
You got a spread on that?
We have Ole Miss plus 2.5 right now.
Yeah, see, I would need a touchdown.
Yeah.
I need a touchdown to be comfortable, so I probably won't touch it either.
All right, next game, and we were all feeling confident about our boys, Washington State, and they came through and beat Oregon State. I mean, we all had this feeling about Washington State. You know, this defense is good. This quarterback's very underrated. Nobody is talking about Cameron Ward, and he has been excelling tremendously the first couple of games. He threw 400 yards and 4 touchdowns against this Oregon State defense that has been very good the first 3 weeks. So Washington State won 38-35 to stay undefeated.
Yeah, it got kind of a little bit too close for me at the end. Not gonna cap.
I get that.
Got uncomfortable for sure, but good win for the boys. Good pick. I was confident.
We were all pretty confident that we switched from
a lot less confident with like 3 minutes left in the game, but I was happy with the way it ended.
Yeah. All right, let's get into these night games here. Starting off with number 24, Iowa, going into the whiteout at number 7, Penn State. Once again, Tyler, it was never a doubt.
No, never a doubt.
Penn State with another 14 spread and another okay.
Lock, another cover.
Easy cover. 31-0 was the final, and Iowa never stood a chance in that whiteout.
Never.
Look, if Michigan doesn't win the Big Ten, it's going to be Penn State. I just want that to be known.
Poor Cade McNamara. Cade McNamara threw 5 for 17 with 42 yards.
Cade McNamara's buns.
I just said that for Luke's enjoyment.
There's a reason.
Cade McNamara and brought JJ in and said, "You guys, go ahead, go to Iowa," because that was the best decision you guys could have made instead of having.
There's a reason they were going back and forth playing the two. When JJ was a freshman.
Or he is.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. All right. Let's get into the best game of the week, and that is number 6, Ohio State, number 9, Notre Dame. This was a damn good football game. Just want to throw that out there first thing first. Both teams looked competitive. Both teams looked like, this game meant what we knew it was to them. And at the end of the day, Notre Dame had a 14-10 lead. Ohio State had a couple seconds left on that clock. They marched down. They got a walk-off touchdown.
Yeah, look,
I'm happy about it because I got this covered.
The quarterback for Ohio State was completely unproven, had never been in a big game like this, had never had to go down and have a final, game-winning drive like this. And kid proved himself. So
Yep.
I don't know if he can continue to do that. I don't know if it was like a fluke type thing, but in his first actual test in college football, he showed that he was made of what he needed to be made of. So
I mean, yeah, he had the game-winning drive, but I wouldn't say he 100% improved himself, only being Notre Dame.
Luke, being in that spot
17-14
in Notre Dame, one of the harder places to play in college football, and successfully completing that drive as his first year starting at Ohio State in his first actual game because they were actually playing somebody. That's proving something. You didn't prove that you're an elite quarterback, but you've proved that you belong here.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not an Ohio State guy. I'm not trying to make Ohio State look good, but you can't just shit on it because it's Ohio State. I'm just saying.
I'm not. All I'm saying is after this game with Notre Dame, my worry level for the Michigan-Ohio State game has gone down.
Well, my thought is that I need Ohio State to at least be decent, so when you guys play, it's decent. If they would have lost to Notre Dame, they could win the rest of their games leading up, and they're probably going to be like a, 10, 11 ranked team when you guys play them. Not as good. Need them to be like 6 or 7 so that you guys look even better. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, but I could care less if it's a good game or not, as long as Michigan comes out on top on them.
Okay, move on.
All right, now we are pretty much through the college games. I just want to shout out 2 things. Jesse, shout out North Carolina on your play with them in Pittsburgh. And then Luke, shout out Arizona State. They covered 34.5 on USC.
Hey.
And shout out Baby Tua.
And shout out Baby Tua for covering against.
I should have taken them minus 20.5.
Yeah, how was that, boys? You guys were there live. Did they ever have a chance?
No. Baby Tua cooked. And I love to see it.
Did they ever have a chance? All right. What's up, Jesse?
I said lately.
Now let's get into the big boys. Let's get into the NFL. Kicking it off with the Sunday set, as we normally do, starting with the game that, once again, the fellas were at. The Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. And the Detroit Lions not only covered that -3, but they covered it very well because this was the best defensive performance I have seen. I was about to say ever, and then I was going to say no, Dylan, but then I realized, no, the correct answer is ever. In my life, being live, I have never seen Detroit Lions defensive performance that good in person.
Are you just not old enough to remember DeAndre Levy, Ndamukong Suh, and Slay and Quinn?
To be fair, he said in person.
I'm talking about the live game that I was at.
I thought that, but then I still felt like he was
almost every year of our lives has been the same, Luke. I go to about 6, 7 Lions games, so I've seen a lot.
Well, I don't remember that.
I am referring to ones that we've been to. I'm not referring to every game ever.
Don't remember. But anyways, I agree with my statement, and I back myself.
I agree with my
I
statement.
back myself.
I agree with myself. For
I'm
sure.
like Bookie replying to my own fucking shit in the group chat. I agree, but no, the biggest thing is that I think that it was a combination of our defense was really good on the pass rush, and their offensive line looked like they took mushrooms before the game, and it just so happened to help us in our favor.
I wouldn't even the pass rush was good, but the shutting down the run game was even better.
We shut all of that shit down. Algier at 12
Because
yards, Bijan at
again,
30.
We forced them to
Done
throw.
that every week. We haven't let
Yeah,
up.
well,
We haven't let up 100
I know,
rushes.
Tyler, but this week it was nerve-wracking because the last time we played a high-powered...
This is the first time that it was
they got
supposed to be a
250
problem.
yards.
This
Correct.
is the
That's what I'm
first time it
saying.
was supposed to be a problem.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But it ain't
we
been
took away their only game plan, which is to run, because they suck when it comes to any other part of the game, and forced them to play in their bad parts, and we made them pay for it.
I know they think Ritter's the future, but they might want to throw in Heineke.
I'm just saying, man. I said it from the beginning of the year. If Taylor Heineke was the starting quarterback going into this year, I would have picked Atlanta to win the division outright.
But at the same time, there's quarterbacks out here like Zach Wilson. So,
Yeah, one thing I do want to say about the Lions is I like the fact that last week we utilized the shit out of Reynolds, and then Reynolds was hurt this week, so we're like, okay, now we're gonna smack Laporta with 90 yards. I mean, I like that. All right, next game, and this one went into overtime. It was the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. Colts. Not only did Gardner Minshew hang into this entire football game, he led these boys into overtime. Justin Tucker, for one of the first times in my life, missed a chance to win the game before they went to overtime, and his leg wasn't enough. How often have you ever seen that? His leg just didn't get the ball there. Where the fuck was that at?
they weren't supposed to be in that spot. But
Justin Tucker got out-tuckered.
Yes, and then Matt Gay came in and made the game-winning field goal in overtime.
Bro was hitting 50-yard field goals like it was nothing.
I agree with Luke. I think he got out-tuckered in this game.
It was like, oh, here's a 50-yard field goal. You want to see another? Oh, yeah, there we go. You want to see another? Oh, yeah, there we go. Want to see us win the game? Oh, yeah, there we go.
I'm not an injuries guy, but, I mean, Baltimore had fucking 90% of their team on the IR before this game, so I'm not going to sit here and take too much away from them. But at the same time, you let the Colts beat you without Jonathan Taylor, so, like,
screw you, Ryan. That was pass interference. You're blind.
This was a game where neither one of these teams looked like they actually wanted to win the football game.
No, that was the Chargers and the Vikings. They were
actually playing good football. The Ravens game was shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt Gay wanted to win.
Come on.
Yes, he did.
Matt Gay really wanted that win.
That's okay.
He wanted all that win.
He just needed to be on the field. He said, "Oh, let's kick. Take it again."
All right, I wasn't going to talk about this game because I don't think this is a good
Coach, first and 10. Let's kick it.
Hey, Coach, they'll never expect a kick. Put me in
I
a quarter.
I wasn't going to talk about this game because I didn't think this was a good football game, but I don't want to skip over and then everyone will be like, Dylan, you're just ignoring it because it's your team. But the Browns beat the Titans 27-3, and Titans' offense is abysmal. I mean, what more do you want me to say?
Well,
it was a boring game. So
I want you to drill your entire roster right now, actually.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is Ryan Tannehill, 13 for 25, 100 passing yards.
I'll drill Derrick Henry because this motherfucker went into the second half with minus 0.7 fantasy points and then ended with 2.
Well, if you're going to drill anyone, please drill this offensive line. That is the worst offensive line in the NFL. It is abysmal.
They're quite shit.
6 sacks this week, 7 sacks the week before. Myles Garrett almost had 4 sacks by himself.
And this is the year that we don't get to play Tennessee. Come on.
We have no
Oh, that's funny because I seen a clip from this game. Myles Garrett ran back and forth like 3 different times from the opposite side of the D line, and they had 2 guys chasing him.
I thought I was watching youth football. I thought I was watching youth football, bro, when I saw that. I was like, that's what the shit they used to make me do in 9th grade when they would fuck with my head.
There's 2 little kids trying to cover the giant 6'3" guy.
It was so bad. It was abysmal. All right. Oh, I hate this as a Lions fan. I hate this as a Lions fan. Saints Packers. So the Saints were winning 17-0. Derek Carr got hurt. The Packers scored 18 points in the fourth quarter, and now everyone's saying Jordan Love's the best fucking greatest thing fucking ever. I need to leave.
No, this is very simple. All Jordan Love's the slander. The slander is going to come from me. Well, all the Jordan Love hype gets silenced tomorrow. Like it's one day.
I hate it so bad. I hate it.
It's one day away, bro. Come on, you're good. You're one day away.
I hate it.
Here's the thing. I mean, if Derek Carr didn't get hurt, the Packers are not winning that game.
Derek Carr going down made everything implode, and then Devontae Adams got upset and was ranting after the game.
Yeah. Wait.
Well, yeah, but that's also no, that might be it.
Devontae Adams plays for the Raiders, Tyler.
Oh,
yeah, yeah, that just confused me for a second.
Information's still accurate.
Okay, well, okay.
Jameis Winston, problem. He wasn't ready at all.
Jameis.
If this was a spot where you had Kamara and you were like, okay, we're up 17, we don't have a quarterback, we can just play the run game, it would be different. But because they don't, and because Jamal's hurt as well, they just had to rely on their rookie, and he wasn't getting anything done, so they were kind of shot in the foot.
Yeah, well, I think Jordan Love did look good.
I know, and that's what makes me mad.
I have to say, I do think he looked good, but I don't think they win that game with Carr.
He looked good. He looked good in the second half, or at least the fourth quarter.
If I hear one more person say Love era, I will actually just stop.
I mean, either way, he's a starting quarterback for an era he's about to probably lead.
I hope we just shit on
Green
them.
Bay.
Shit on them. 49-0, bro. I need us to just fucking take everything this fan base has going for them and break it into little pieces.
You want us to go into their house and just disrespect them, huh?
Oh, dude.
How amazing that would be, though. You know how great it would be? The start of the Love era. 42-7.
Fuck your Love era, bro.
As much as I'd love that.
To Lion time, because
that's all I want. That's all I want.
As much as I'd love that, I'm gonna need 2 touchdowns.
Aaron Jones.
No.
I'm gonna need 2 touchdowns.
You're gonna talk about fantasy. You're gonna talk about fantasy.
I don't care what you want.
Aaron.
I don't care. Nobody.
Aaron.
Aaron. Never mattered less.
Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones.
It's strictly for fantasy.
Jones. Aaron.
Tyler's spamming the button.
He's never gonna make it back.
Oh my God.
He switched around.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Jesse,
Wow.
let's get on to the next game.
They're over here battling each other out.
Dolphins, Broncos. How do I start?
Fins up, baby! That's how you start!
Boy,
That's how you fucking start!
70 points in a football game. They could have broken the record, but Mike McDaniels is a classy man. He's a classic man. You can
No. I disagree. There's no class.
That's exactly what he said. He said, I'm a classy man.
Sure. Do you want to know what a classy man would do? A classy man would say, instead of just making your loss look like utter trash, I'll put it in the history books. The truest form at the top. Here you go. You played the worst defense a team has ever played. You're welcome. At least there's.
I'm just happy Mike White threw a passing touchdown. That's all I needed. Damn, Jesse, why did you get yanked? What did
I know, right?
That was kind of fun.
Fuck yeah.
Fins up. Hell yeah.
All right, we're done.
If you wanted to know what it's like in North Korea or South Korea with a dictator,
shipping this bitch right
this
now.
is what it looks like.
Yes.
All right. So, does anyone else have anything to add on this absolute dick down? I mean,
Hey,
once again,
wait, hold up. You want to know how the the Broncos defense felt? Deleted.
The guy who's backed up the Fins since game 1, but you're gonna give me the delete.
All right, fine.
Your loyalty went thin.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to win a football game when a team puts up 70 points. The backup comes in at 50
Well, but you
points.
will if you put up 71. Weak ass.
If they let Russ cook, they would have.
This wouldn't have been a problem.
They didn't let Russ cook.
No, he did not cook. He didn't.
No, I said they didn't let him cook.
Bro, everything he cooks lights the kitchen on fire, bro.
I was gonna say they have let him cook.
They could have used that.
They didn't even use the microwave correctly.
The crazy part is I don't know what's wrong with the team. Like, if you ask somebody what's wrong with the Broncos, they're just gonna tell you the team.
They're gonna do what Sean Payton did. They're gonna shake their head like
as soon as they got as soon as they got into the facility, they just took all these good athletes and then took them into a room and then they brainwashed them so that they know nothing about the IQ behind the game of football. And then they just put them back out there and said, "Go do stuff."
Yeah, they really did.
Like you go to the Broncos to die. There's like an offensive tackle or something they got there that they got like middle of last season that came up, who was quoted as saying, "All that we've done since I've gotten here is lose."
Well, they have been
there for like 7
years because 8 years ago is the last year they played.
And they've lost like every game with this guy. And he's just like, all we do is lose. Like, yes, because you don't get more than 20 points every game.
Correct.
And you don't stop anybody.
Well, especially when this football, like currently, is all about offense and all the rules are towards the offense to help you score more points. And you can't get more than 20 points in like every single game you play. You should be losing every game.
I agree. All right. Jesse, what the fuck's going on with your Jaguars? They just lost 37-17 to the Texans.
Hey, I was watching this game and I was like, boy, oh boy. I don't know what's gotten into the Jags. I don't know what it is. Couldn't tell you, but it's looking bad.
Yeah, it's looking very bad. I'm not taking anything away from Bryce
so stable now.
or CJ, but CJ had a great game, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, they played great, but Jacksonville they did not have a counter, which was very, very concerning.
Yeah, it was. Offense just looked bad, but at the end of the day, I mean, there were a couple catches away from a couple feet, and I mean that literally, from a whole different scoreboard. They could not keep their feet in bounds on very important catches. I'm pretty sure they had 2 touchdowns.
That out of bounds management.
Feet out.
I agree. They got to figure that shit out because you put up the performance you did against Kansas City, and now people are going, okay, they can fight, and then that happens against Houston, and now everyone goes, what the fuck?
They're going back home. They're gonna play at their home field.
They're not. They're not going home. They're going to London.
They're going home. I know what I said.
I understand.
We send them to London every chance we fucking get. That's their home.
Hey, the Jags are the best team in London ever.
Like
they should let Tampa Bay have Florida, and you guys just up and move to London full time.
London and the Jags, lots of love. We just keep sending them. So
they can take them. Let me just say that on behalf of the United States, we have no problem giving them away.
Yeah, we can.
I could think of a couple teams that we'd
the whole entire city of Jacksonville and all the people there with them.
As much as
everybody goes to London, and we can turn it into like a big lake or something.
I'm cool with that.
Blow it up.
You know, I was more thinking to do that with. I was more thinking to do that with the Bears or the Broncos, but
Jacksonville's easy. You just
Jacksonville's easier. They got a good amount of teams there.
Take the ocean a little bit bigger.
Team. Yeah, Florida's got their own different teams. They can just root for Miami or somebody else.
Exactly. They can have Miami and Tampa. They don't need Jacksonville
You can't do that to like Chicago because then they got nobody to root for. So
there.
Yeah, they still don't have anyone to root for.
it's also true. I wouldn't right now. All right, next game. 2 teams that wanted to win, but 2 head coaches that did not. The Vikings and the Chargers. The final score was 24-28 with the Chargers. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think Kevin O'Connell might have just Brandon Staley'd himself. And that's the best way I can put it. Because not only did Minnesota...
Did you just say that one? Time out. Dylan, did you just say that one coach did to himself what the other coach was going to do to himself?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I mean, I don't think the biggest thing
It's accurate.
At the end of the game, I think it was the fact that Minnesota should not have even had a chance at the end of the game to have that drive at all. The fact that Brandon Staley was able to give them the ball back is ridiculous in the first place.
Well, he had to try to find a way to lose that game. You know that.
That's what I'm saying. And then Kevin O'Connell said, wait, you can't try to lose. I'm trying to lose. Pick. And, it's...
We got to get rid of Kirk Cousins. I'm trying to lose.
Minnesota, what was it? 12-1 last year and, 1-possession games. They're now 0-3 to start the year, all in 1-possession games.
I guarantee you turn on Minnesota Vikings radio, they're already talking about Drake May and Caleb Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee
you. Hey, man. I told you that they're going to be going. They're going to go from 11-0 in 1-possession games to 0-11.
So far they're on that track.
That's why I was riding that spread. Chargers, baby. Finally.
Kirk Cousins is the first quarterback to have like 1,000 yards and a certain amount of touchdowns. I forget how many he has, but his stats have only occurred in 10 quarterbacks ever.
Well,
that's like Tom Brady 3 times, Drew Brees like 3 times, but none of them have ever been 0-3.
Yeah,
they're 23.
Like the stats that he has.
Because
3, yeah, I get that.
Well, it's because he has to only throw bombs to keep him in the game.
Well, he's also only in charge of the offense.
We could just address the giant elephant in the room, which is the fact that no matter if he puts up 30 points, that defense is like
exactly like
he only 5 in the NFC.
He's only in charge of the offense, and if you have to get 40 points a game to win, you're gonna lose majority of the games.
This is like the old Cowboys with Dak.
Like they put up. Herbert had almost 400 yards this week. Last week the Eagles had 35. Week 2, the Bucks. I mean, you let Baker Mayfield be the leading passer against them that week. I mean, the Vikings defense is doing him no favors at all.
Like this is quite literally the Cowboys from like 3-4 years ago when Dak would put up like 30-40 points in a game and they'd still lose because the defense couldn't stop a drive.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the game that year against Atlanta, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, are they really about to lose this game? It was like 40, something like that in like the third.
They almost put up a 50 ball and they lost the game.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, Buffalo, they blew out the Commanders. Patriots and Jets was pretty boring. Seahawks and Panthers. 37-27 was the final. Andy Dalton threw 361 passing yards and 2 touchdowns on almost 60 passing attempts for the Panthers. And they still lost by 10.
All right, let me say one thing because it's a fact. Andy Dalton is still the best redhead starting quarterback in the NFL. Fact.
I will agree with that.
That's all I have to say nice about him and that team.
He might be the best red route we've ever seen.
Hey, man, I told you to believe in him.
I'm happy that he did that, but I will say K9
been saying it for years. Believe in Andy Dalton.
Well, they still lost, so Andy Dalton.
K9 came to play. DK had 100 yards, and yeah. But
defense was a lot worse than they're capable of.
This was a very entertaining game. Speaking of entertaining games, well, this one was actually just a what the fuck is going on. All right, Dallas Cowboys, Arizona Cardinals. So the Cowboys, who we have kind of been focal pointing this defense, lost Trayvon Diggs, and then they mentally shit the bed against Joshua Dobbs. 28 points they allowed from the Cardinals, and they lost this game by 12.
It is 2023. You cannot have Stephon Gilmore as your number one cornerback guarding number one receivers in any NFL game.
Well, first game without Diggs looked ugly.
I mean, the second that I saw that Darren Bland was going to be covering, what's his name? Fucking a Hollywood Brown, I knew it was GG's. Because I go, okay, so now they're just going to take Rondale Moore and just abuse him. But then they actually just took Michael Wilson and abused him. He had 8 catches, 86 yards. Or my bad, he had 2 catches and 86 yards. And then, like I said, back to fucking Rondale Moore with his 6 catches. Damn, man. What the fuck, Dallas? I thought this defense was different this year. And then you lose one cornerback who, say what you want about him, I guess it affected this team.
Hey. Trayvon Diggs actually had, before last week, the lowest QBR rating when thrown to him.
See, I was trying to defend him on this pod, and these two slandered me for it.
Low key. He had been doing solid for like
Did you
2
say
weeks.
me?
No, it wasn't you, Luke, but I know Tyler did for sure.
say.
Tyler was like, all he does is get picks sometimes. And he's not.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
He's a punt returner.
They could have used a few kicks or a few
They could have
picks.
used a few picks, yeah. No BS.
Well, he was chilling at home.
All right, next, let's get into the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce extravaganza at Arrowhead.
I
Chiefs
hate you
won.
for saying that.
Chiefs won 41-10. The game was never really close. It was an absolute murder, and there was pretty much more excitement in the fact that Taylor Swift was at the game than the actual football itself, because the Chicago Bears didn't even hit 100 passing yards.
I just want to say Travis Kelce's a bitch for only getting 69 yards and not 75.
He got that tutty, though, and he got that 69. He knew what he was doing. He
Yeah,
knew
but he didn't get 75, and I lost money. He's a
He
bitch.
really did get 69 and send the perfect message. I don't know.
He said the perfect message.
I don't know why he thought he'd get 75 or more when he was clearly just trying to send a message.
That's what he was trying to let Taylor know. He's like,
I mean, 169 wouldn't have been bad, but whatever.
Well, maybe if the Bears could score some fucking points.
Now, we are not a look-ahead podcast, but I just want to ask, how do we feel about the fact that the Bears-Broncos next week, the Bears are underdogs to a team that just had 70 points scored on them?
I can already think of another one, Dylan. The look-ahead to the look-ahead. What happens when the Bears play the fucking Vikings? It's going to be a shit show.
I think this is going to be the worst shit show.
I agree with Luke. This is going to be the worst game.
Ty, the team that just got 70 dropped on their heads opened up as a favorite.
Think about that.
Yeah, but that's Miami, who is also not favored.
I don't care who it is. I don't care.
You get 70 dropped on your head. You don't deserve to be the favorite in your next
600
game.
yards and 70 points, and you're a favorite.
That's so bad.
It's bad. I was going to say that I think that 2 of the worst teams in football this year, record-wise, are going to be from the NFC North. And it's going to be the Bears and the Vikings.
I don't think the Broncos are winning a football game.
They're going to be like
I don't think the Broncos are winning a fucking football game.
top or bottom 4. 2 of them will be from the NFC North.
The bottom will be the Broncos. Broncos, they will maybe win 2 games this year. Maybe.
You don't think that Sean Payton can
No.
Oh, wait. You know, the Vikings and the Panthers are both 0-3 as well, and they play next week. Who do we think wins the one game?
Oh, Panthers.
Panthers?
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
Does it depend on Andy or Brian?
Panthers plus 4.5.
What?
I will take that 4.5 all day long.
Parlay of the week next week. Bears and Vikings money lines.
Yeah, that should be very interesting. All right, let's get into the primetime games. Steelers, Raiders on Sunday Night Football. The Raiders, they hung in pretty much the whole game. I'll give them that. But they ultimately lost 23-18, being the
We have another dumbass coach. of the week.
Oh my God!
You are
don't
on
even
your
get-
side of the field. 4th and 4. Nobody correct me. 4th and 4 or 4th and 2.
4th and 2.
4th and 2. And you kick a field goal in an 8-point game.
Yep, you said after the game. I thought we needed 2 scores.
The worst, consistently one of the worst defenses, if not the worst defense, every single year for the last 5 years. This game on this day, you think, oh yeah, we'll get a stop.
Well, no, in his mind, he needed 2 scores. Like, no, bro, you needed to go for 2. You didn't need 2 scores.
It's even worse. Do your math, bro. We got a head coach who can't do 6 + 2, 8, 25, 8.
How am
What?
I better at math than you, bro? Like, Jesus.
I was so ready for Luke to just roast himself, but I'll leave that.
X's and O's, X's and O's.
But I agree. What a
My problem is
What an ending.
Devontae Adams is gonna die. This man cannot get 20+ targets every fucking game, and then
Yes.
Hey,
come
kid.
in,
Yes, he can.
take a head-to-head wide receiver hit on the sideline, say, I feel okay, come back in, and then get targeted 9 more times before the game ends. Like,
Well,
I understand
he's
you
built
don't
different.
rely on anybody else, but when
Timothy.
it happens every game and he's getting helmet to helmets, it's just, this guy's going to die. He's going to fucking die in the field.
No.
Nah,
He didn't. He took his
you're
years
in
to get
denial
good.
is what you're in. But you're
I'm not in denial.
This is
You're
bad.
in. Listen. At the end of the day,
20
wide
targets this week,
receiver.
22 last week.
yes,
This.
because he's Devontae
He's
Adams.
He's him.
If you want to get realistic, he's still got the best route running. He still has the latest hands, and by that I mean corners don't know when the ball's coming when they're guarding Devontae Adams. He will not move his hands until the ball is damn near within arm's reach.
Okay, but 3 of those targets this week and 2 of those targets last week were interceptions. So
Yes.
you can't just play the game of Devontae's covered and he's going to do a route or he's going to catch it, because that has cost them a lot so far.
They're not gonna win that many games with Jimmy G.
No, they're
Jimmy G
not.
is never a good option.
But at least last year, Derek Carr,
In that defense.
he would have the somewhat wherewithal to go, there's 3 people on Devontae. I'm not going to throw it. Garoppolo goes, fuck it. He's down there somewhere.
Dylan, you know what that's the perfect example of? What I've been saying all along. Jimmy G, system quarterback.
Yeah.
If the play is to throw it to Devontae Adams, you bet your fucking ass he's throwing it to Devontae Adams.
I've been a Jimmy
He does
guy.
what coach says, period. And in San Francisco, coach called the right plays. So everything worked out just
This
fine.
coach is a goof. He's a
Now, now he does what coach says, but coach doesn't know what he's doing.
This coach is a goof. Straight goof.
And Josh Jacobs has not been very helpful, so therefore, they've been able to do is throw. And when you make Jimmy G throw, you lose games. We've seen this.
Yeah, don't make him throw, please.
I'm
Did
okay
anybody
with
else
him.
Did anybody else hear what Colin Cowherd said on the fucking broadcast of this game?
Who?
What did
The
he say?
announcer. He was looking. They were zooming in on Josh Jacobs, and he was talking about Josh Jacobs. Oh, he's only 5'8", whatever, but he's got 200 pounds of his weight is below the belt, and he's proceeded to say he has a big dick.
Maybe he does.
Television.
Didn't he call him a
I believe it.
big dick chub?
I'll let him have it, but I can't believe he said it.
Who did he compare him to? Because he said big dick and then compared him to another running back. Was it Chubb?
Did you send this to me? Someone sent this to me.
It might have been me.
That's how I saw it for sure. Yeah, all right, here we go.
Oh, I get why he led the league in rushing. He looks like he weighs about 200 pounds from the waist down. Just big, dick, Saquon Barkley kind of
Oh,
looking.
big dick Saquon Barkley.
Just big dick Saquon Barkley looking. So he's seen Saquon Barkley's dick. That is confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what we learned?
Speculation. Speculation.
I mean, how can you compare unless you've seen? Come on now.
He just sees Barkley swinging it around on the field when he plays and gets the ball.
Yeah.
He's out here paying players big bucks for wiener picks in the locker room.
Monday Night Football doubleheader. The Eagles beat the Bucs, and I mean, does anyone really have anything to say about this game? I don't.
No. Eagles are the best team ever at the QB sneak. That's about it.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
and now let's talk.
Just like as fuck Kelsey, it's big time fuck Swift for not getting a goddamn touchdown.
All right, Luke.
Time to go to the Bengals and the Rams, with the Bengals offense still performing like poo-poo.
Jamar Chase.
Oh, gee, this game.
Your team looks like dog shit, Jesse.
Jamar Chase.
Just want to let you know. But I'm in the same boat. So does mine.
12 catches, 130 yards.
Yes, he did. And this rushing game was
won.
not
So
good.
on 3. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but your team still did not really play that good.
Hey, let me tell you what. When
26 for 50? Burrow, what are we doing?
When Cooper Kupp comes back, that Rams passing game is going to be a problem. Puka is a real player.
Puka and Tutu.
He is good. So when it's Puka and Kupp, they're going to be wide open, like both of them wide open on like almost every single play.
And then there's their running back Williams, who absolutely torched the 49ers. Couldn't torch the Bengals. Make it make sense.
Wow.
He got lucky.
He's not Timothy.
And he's a rookie.
He is him.
He is not him.
He's him.
He's a 5'9" rookie, and he got lucky.
Right.
That's what I can give you.
Yay big. And it's his first time out here.
But you just don't go from cooking the 49ers defense to getting absolutely shut down by the Bengals defense.
You do if you're not him.
But he is him.
What I'm trying to explain.
The 49ers game was different. McVay, he tries to fight the 49ers his hardest, and he just keeps losing. But he really wants to beat them. So all the tricks, all the
why can't he do that against every team? Then I'll be happy.
Young, he has time for that. He doesn't feel necessary all the time.
Are we only discussing this because you picked him up in fantasy?
Please tell me we're not.
Guys, what are you not realize?
Let's move on.
The last three things you brought up are specific players that have either helped you or screwed you in fantasy. That's the only thing.
Not true. The last two players I
family.
brought up lost me money.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's money or fantasy.
The money is fine. No one gives a shit about the fantasy. Money's different.
Give a shit about the fantasy because I guarantee you a lot of people feel the exact same way I do.
I don't know how many other people out there picked up the Rams rookie running back.
A lot of people did.
A lot. Yeah,
well, those are going to be the same idiots that pick up Akan because he had 200 rushing yards.
Did you just call Devon?
No. That's not the same. That's not the same. Actually, no. That's different. It's different.
Who the hell are you talking about? Who's
Kyron Williams? Kyron Williams was already.
What's his last name? That's how it's spelled.
Are you talking about Devon A-Chain?
Yeah. A-Chain.
Sorry, you just caught me off guard.
Literally the same exact thing. Shut the fuck up. Move on to the next game.
Damn. Somebody didn't like that. All right.
I wanted to add that it's a little different for a change.
Thursday.
Lions, Packers.
Yes.
We currently sit at Lions -1.5. I think we all know where I'm riding after I just said I want them to win by 49 points. Mine's -1.5.
You're taking the Packers. You can fuck off, and I'm never talking to you again. Who's taking the Packers?
Luke's taking the Packers.
Give me the Packers to not cover.
All right. Everyone can still be my friend. Look at that.
First 1.5.
Hey, Dylan, if that's how you real feel, take the Lions -20.5.
Hey, you said 49.
That is the spread.
That
if you think you're going to kill somebody, you take them by 20.5.
That is how I feel, but I don't have that. I have 1.5. I don't see 20.5 on here on FanDuel.
Alternate spreads are a
Time
thing.
to take them 20.5. You can't physically bet anyways. You can make up your own fucking spreads and like you can bet on Dylan's Sportsbook for all we care.
Alternate spreads are a thing.
All right.
Oh, you taking them 20.5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if they don't win by 20.5, that will count against you in the picks.
That would be how that works.
Yes.
Did you just explain what I already knew?
Well, because when I text you on Friday morning and say, "Damn, Dylan, they didn't cover your 20.5," and you're like, "Oh yeah, but they covered the 1.5, so I'm good." And I text you back saying, "No, you're not good. You took 20.5." I don't want to hear it.
You
so
won't. You
making
won't.
sure we were all on the same page.
You won't hear it. I promise. I got 20.5.
That's a fucking bold block. All right.
Hey, man.
You've been drinking the blue Kool-Aid more than me. I'm surprised you're not backing me.
Because you said 20.5 and we're going to Lambeau.
You damn right we are. We're going to Jordan Love. We're going to hit.
I'm just not.
We're going to break him into little pieces, Tyler. We're going
I'm not insane enough to do it.
There's your final prediction: 28-3.
I'm not insane enough to do it. I can't tell myself the Lions will beat the Packers by
maybe 28-7, but 28-3.
Green Bay. I've never seen it, so I can't physically bring myself.
Well, you're gonna see it You're gonna see it tomorrow night. Damn it!
All right. I hope you're right.
I am.
All right. My pick for this game.
You already said it.
You said it.
You didn't mean it.
I'm taking Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. If Aaron Jones doesn't play, give me Lions money line. That's a bet.
That's just fantasy.
That's a bet.
I wouldn't even say that is just fantasy, but
he has them for fantasy.
Hold on.
So fantasy related.
It's only fantasy related.
No one gives a
No.
shit. Fantasy team.
So are you truly from the bottom of your heart?
On his fantasy team,
Yes.
Statistically speaking, feel like Aaron Jones is going to touch the end zone.
Yes. He's a dual threat. He can run the ball and catch the ball.
Bad bet.
That's your lock. You're putting that in as the lock.
Yes, if he plays. If he doesn't play, I'm just going to take Lions money line. But because from fantasy, I know he's questionable.
I believe him, guys. I don't think he's trying to make it fantasy related.
I also like that they have their left tackle.
I apologize.
Guard, both starting tackles and guards on the left side are out. Bakhtiari's out and Jenkins is out. So that whole left side of the line is backups.
I like that.
I just don't like that.
Hey, Seattle had us.
I was gonna say, but maybe we shouldn't.
That's the last time we faced that.
Right. Let's base it off of the only time it's ever happened to us. Let's go off that and think it's gonna happen the exact same way. Let's do
that. 0-for-1, we have to speak on it. We can't act like it didn't happen.
Well, you can act like it happened, but like that doesn't. So you start off 0-2 as the Bengals. You assume you're gonna go 0-16, or did you expect to go win 12, 13 games?
You expect to win 12 or 13
You're going to do the same thing every time.
But you have to look at it.
Well, I'm expecting the Bengals to not do that hot this year.
The Falcons that we did last week.
Yeah, me too. I think they're playing like shit.
Yeah, that's how you think.
We did the opposite. We made adjustments.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
What do you got him, Luke?
I
got him like 7 wins max.
So now,
I said 7-8.
Two backups, and we know how to rush the passer. I'm feeling good.
Oh, yeah, we're feeling
good. We're going to figure out eventually, Dylan. It's just going to be not as strong.
Nah, that's a 7-win team right now at best.
You guys have a fucking conversation. You guys have something you need to say?
We didn't know what you guys
were trying to. Me and Jesse were talking.
I know. We were talking about the Bengals.